Hi, my name is Rick Clark. I'm the Director of Undergrad Admission here at Georgia Tech, and we're so glad that you're thinking about Georgia Tech as an option. First of all, we know you've got a lot of choices. You've got a lot of places that you could be looking right now, and we're glad that you're spending some time with us. In a normal time, we would love to welcome you to campus. We'd love to have the opportunity to sit down with you. But, we're in a different time right now with COVID, and we wanted to put this video together so that you can see our best faces, our best voices, our real experts in lots of different fields. And so I'm very excited for you all to hear from Georgia Tech's people, to understand more about what this community is, what makes it great, and why we want you to be part of it.
We are so glad that you are taking the time to learn more about Georgia Tech. We hope that you will consider Georgia Tech if what you hear from us resonates with who you are and what you are hoping to accomplish in college and beyond.
Founded in 1885, in a time of tremendous change in our state, region, and nation, Georgia Tech was established to be a place focused on the future, a place to imagine, innovate, and improve technology, manufacturing, commerce, and transportation. Today, Georgia Tech has grown from one major and 84 students to a vibrant and diverse undergraduate community, offering over 36 bachelor's degree options and an undergraduate enrollment of more than 16,000 students. Students, faculty, staff, and alumni live out our motto of progress and service each day as we seek to develop leaders, advance technology, and improve the human condition.
I love our motto because I feel like these things are kind of paradoxical. If you think about progress, it's this idea of moving forward, right? It's almost careering in the true definition of that word. And that's what we've always been, right? We were started to look ahead. We were started to create what's next. And so it demands this idea of having a vision in progress, but then being committed to bringing people with you to that better place.
The most literal sense for me of progress as service is when you're doing something here and you have classes, teaching is the best form of studying, always. So if you have information that someone else needs and you're willing to give it, then it helps you solidify that information for yourself.
Georgia Tech's wide variety of technologically focused majors and minors consistently earned strong national rankings.
One of the reasons that we have only 36 degree programs is to really focus. Georgia Tech is a technology-centered kind of place, and so that gives us the chance to focus on those areas. It turns out many of our programs are the largest of their kind in the US, so we have both size and quality in a relatively few number of degree programs, and that's just a decision we've made, and I think with really great success.
Georgia Tech is by far the most collaborative academic environment I've been a part of, especially compared to high school and stuff like that. Every day in one of my classes, there's always I'm texting someone and we're comparing answers and working on homework and collaborating. In my classes, we're always trying to get together for study sessions to review for tests. It seems like everywhere I go, there's always somebody else who's in one of my classes who's willing to help me out. I think everybody at Tech realizes that this is a very challenging place academically, and we realize that a lot of us came here for that challenge. And so for that reason, we want to help each other out and help each other succeed.
I can't say that I've made a connection with all of my professors, but every semester there's always one or two professors that you just really click with, whether it's, just from going to office hours and maybe you struggled in the class and you had to talk to them a lot. Building that connection with the professors will help you to get those tools or put you in connection with people who might be able to help you and the professor's not able to help you. I have a professor actually that is so intent on our success that he's yeah, this is my cell phone number. If you text me with this specific message, I know that it is urgent. I will respond to you immediately. So stuff like that makes a huge difference.
I think a lot of people, when they think about Georgia Tech, it's got such a reputation of excellence, and it's difficult to get in. But I think what people don't realize is that when you're here, everyone supports each other. Everybody wants everyone to succeed. One of the unexpected things for students is that when they come in, they have a community of peers and faculty and staff who all want them to do well and help them grow.
At Georgia Tech, people tend to be very supportive. All of my professors really make an effort to get to know me personally. But it's not just the professors, it's also the students. We have a lot of really active, whether it be a piazza, whether it be group chats, group me's. Students here are really active about reaching out to you. And that doesn't just include people in your classes, that includes upperclassmen. There are a lot of programs that I've been in. Through any club, there's always some opportunity. Please connect with upperclassmen, get an upperclassman mentor, talk to alumni of our program. People are really supportive and good about reaching out to people who are going through the experiences that they have gone through.
The idea of
kind of cross collaboration is very existent here. As a business major, I have not had the opportunity to sit in engineering courses all 4 years of my time here, but I've had the opportunity to work in projects, work on cross-functional teams with students across all different majors and kind of learn what they do, learn the challenges they face, learn what it is that they prioritize, and then have also been able to kind of give my input in that sense to them, which I think lends very well to giving yourself that competitive edge of like, you know how to communicate with people from every team on campus probably by the end of your Georgia Tech career.
What really sets Tech apart is how our students put their academic knowledge to use in the real world. Our cooperative education program is the largest voluntary co-op program in the US. Whether you want to join a large corporation or start your own company, the entrepreneurial skills taught at Tech will help you thrive.
One of the great things about education, right, is not just that you sit and read books, it's not just that a professor stands there and holds forth and gives you information curated from his or her brain. It's that you have an opportunity to actually play and see the impact of the theories that you're learning. Georgia Tech has been like that since the very beginning. From its engineering background, it has developed a set of curricula and really a culture that's around building, that's around touching and understanding those implications. And by the way, that's true whether you're a mechanical engineer or whether you've made the right decision and decided to go into computer science, or whether you're going into public policy or modern languages. No matter what it is, everything gets connected to the real world. And that gets expressed in two ways. One, it gets expressed on the campus itself, right? There's lots of opportunities to do research. There's lots of opportunities to do projects with groups or by yourself. It's all built into the curriculum. But the second way that it gets realized is that Georgia Tech is one of the best places for people who want to do real world internships during the summer. And because the outside world, because industry knows that we are good at what we do, you can get that internship at the end of your first year. You don't have to wait until your junior or beginning of your senior year in order to have that experience. It can happen from the very beginning. So then you take that experience out there and you can bring it back to what you're doing on campus, but also those companies you're working with, they are gonna follow you back on campus. If you go just down the street over here, you're not just gonna cross the highway, you're gonna actually see an entire square, technological square, where there are companies from all over the country who want to have a presence at Georgia Tech so that they can work with students even during the school year. So from the beginning to end, from the first day that you walk in to the last day that you leave, you are touching the world and you are having these hands-on experiences.
There's never been a better time to be a Georgia Tech student than right now. You know, Georgia Tech's been around over 130 years, and right now is the best time to be a Georgia Tech student because so much of the focus is on student ideas. The students at Georgia Tech are very inventive, technically savvy, but at Georgia Tech, what they learn is, they're able to work together in teams, they're able to take advantage of places like the Makerspace. The students are able to go there and use millions of dollars worth of equipment that no single person would ever have access to. And so they're able to have access to this equipment all the way from 3D printers that can make something out of cheese whiz to laser jet cutters that can cut through an inch of steel, and everything in between.
While I've been at Tech, I've been fortunate to actually do 3 co-ops. So my very first one was 2 years ago. I was working in Cincinnati for GE Aviation. So what was really cool about it was that I'm a mechanical engineering major, and so I got to work on jet engines, which I got to work like hands-on, work on different components and repair techniques. So it was a really unique experience being able to apply what I learned in the classroom into actual machinery that went into actual airplanes, which was really interesting. The other 2 co-ops, I was with ExxonMobil as well as Chevron. And so there, I was in Houston, Texas, and I was actually working remotely in my other one. It was always really interesting being able to kind of take a break from classes and being able to apply what I learned in the classroom in really big corporations and take on really challenging projects.
So students are our best asset at Georgia Tech. I mean, we have this crop of amazingly talented students, and they actually are clamoring for real-world experiences. They want to be part of the climate solution. And so when they come to us and they see something about the Sea Level Sensor Project, we get inundated with emails from students, undergraduate students and graduate students alike, saying, how can I be part of this? I'm a computer scientist, I'm an engineer, I'm a sociologist, I'm a digital media expert. And we say, oh yes, come over here and be part of this growing team of people. And so there's so much capacity to plug in and be part of the solution with whatever background you have, whatever professional goals you have, to gain that kind of real-world experience. And so they are an invaluable part of our team, and in turn, we feel we're an invaluable part of their education.
I had 2 internship experiences with Bank of America. I worked as a global procurement analyst, and I absolutely loved my time there. I got a chance to really incorporate some of my industrial engineering background with logistics and planning and things like that with some of our third-party vendors. So it was really fun to kind of incorporate things in the classroom setting outside of things into like the real world. So I think it's easy to get stuck in that tech bubble and feeling like you're not doing a lot or you're kind of like falling behind. But when you go out into the real world and you get to work in the workplace, you realize just how much like the school is really shaping you and molding you to become like the best you can possibly be.
The co-op that I chose was a little bit different of an experience because as a computer science major, I wasn't coding in this position. It was more of a project management, i.e. Industrial engineering sort of position. So it definitely was a different viewpoint, but as I've gone into a lot of looking into different roles, for example, I've accepted an internship for next summer as a software engineer intern. And while this past role wasn't coding, it was really a big step forward into a professional workplace, into understanding different type of working styles. From a non-technical standpoint, it really just set me up to understand work-life balance. I have a much bigger sense of communication and that people background and product management background, even though it's not necessarily coding as well.
At Tech, learning goes far beyond the classroom. Just ask any of the Inventure Prize contestants. They'll rave about being able to showcase their innovations on live TV. Or the CreateX participants. They'll go on about how that program exposed them to startup concepts and helped them successfully launch into the marketplace.
I love teaching at Georgia Tech because Georgia Tech students they're so creative, they're innovative, and they will tackle any problem as soon as they hear about it. There are a group of students who are on the Living Building Science VIP team who are studying air quality on campus. They're curious about how the design of a building affects the air quality inside. They're interested in how the air quality changes between interior environments and outdoor environments. And they've placed sensors all over campus. They have them in the gym. They have them in the dining hall. They have them on the bridge over the highway. They even have mobile devices that they attach to their backpacks so that they can track air quality as they walk around campus. I mean, these students are doing amazing technological feats to figure out how to improve everyone's life.
I've been involved in a wet lab here on campus through the Biomedical Engineering Department. We looked at the migration of PC3 cells, which are prostate cancer cells, and trying to change some different proteins and adherence to the surface in order to stop their migration, and therefore later hopefully apply that to be able to stop the migration of cancer cells in the body. So that was something that I started in my second year. I went in there with absolutely no experience of a wet lab, found a PI who I was interested in what he was doing, approached him, and he said, okay, let's start tomorrow. That was really terrifying for me. I had no idea what was gonna happen out of it, but he walked me through every process of it. Really took a lot of time to set me up and make sure that I knew what I was doing and be able to use that, as well as the older undergraduate students that were working in the lab too were always available for questions. And what was cool is after a year of working there, I was the one who got to mentor somebody else who was younger than me, who was new to the lab, and just continue that process of being able to teach and share what you've learned to give that experience to everybody else as well.
All the professors here know that we're here for experience. We know that we're here to kind of build up our portfolio, and they were once in our shoes as well. So every professor is really willing to help you on your way, make sure you're in some kind of research that you enjoy, and make sure that you genuinely get the hands-on experience that you need.
Georgia Tech remains committed to our responsibility as a major player in the state's development, but that doesn't dim our international outlook. We recognize that in order to advance locally, we must expand globally. Because of the partnerships Tech has established across the world, students can choose to study, work, or conduct research, or all three, overseas around the globe.
Georgia Tech students are really fortunate because there's a wide range of programs that are available to them. We offer programs to students that are short, We have some that are a week long, like you take a class in the spring and you go abroad over spring break because you're doing things related to the class. You're taking measurements, you're visiting companies, you're doing something related to the class. You come back and finish. So a week long. We have many summer programs that vary in length, 6 weeks, 10 weeks. You can study language, you can study engineering, you can study computer science. You can do an internship abroad, you can conduct research abroad. We have lots of opportunities for students to participate in exchange programs where you go and live and go to school in an international university. And our partners are amazing. I mean, we have partner institutions where our students can go and study for a semester that are just as amazing as we are. So they have lots of intellectual diversity of opportunity as well as different locations where they can go on programs.
If you are thrown in an environment that's not your native language, you have to be embedded in that culture. And this kind of assets is becoming more and more important for companies. When I speak with recruiters at companies, they value tremendously this experience. People are able to communicate, better understand the subtleties of culture, work in teamworks around the globe. This is highly, highly valuable. And for an undergraduate who spends just one semester, maybe that's just the very beginning of a long love story, but it really opened their mind and they really understand that the world is a big, big place. And it really truly changed, is life transforming for these students.
So I got the opportunity to study in Eastern and Central Europe. I had never left the country before. So the program was called the Leadership for Social Good Study Abroad program. And basically what we did is we got to see what the social sector looks like in Eastern Europe. We spent most of our time in Budapest. I got to intern with a nonprofit called No Bad Kid, and they work with children with behavioral challenges. And it was just an amazing summer. My mentors there were great. Really kind of got to see the work that they do. That study abroad will go down as one of the most influential academic experiences I've ever had because it was all about experience. It was all through learning, through experience. And it's really shaped what I want to do in the future and how I want to do it.
So my study abroad experience was with the Pacific program, and that program goes to Fiji, Australia, and New Zealand over a 3-month period. When you ask me if I enjoyed that, I could probably talk your ear off for about 3 days if I had to. With that program itself, I found a massive cultural shift in the way I thought about life and the people that I interact with and the way I thought about different cultures. The main things that I took away from that: number one, do a study abroad. It's a very special experience. Number two, there's a lot to be learned, even if it's a country or countries that speak the same language as you. And then number three, don't hold yourself back and try and kind of gain as much knowledge and experience in these countries as possible, because there's not really gonna be another time that you have this opportunity to just go take college classes in different countries across the world.
Our proximity to economic opportunity, being at the center of Midtown's startup scene and neighbor to endless major corporations, is just one of the advantages of Tech's Atlanta location. Whether you're in search of big city opportunities or looking for a simpler experience, Tech is the ideal base.
Here in Atlanta, there's so many different things you can explore. So there's tons of museums, different food places to eat. And I think that's really cool how much culture the city has. And that's what's special to Georgia Tech, because not a lot of campuses sort of have that right outside their bounds of their school, that you can just, for a weekend, get out with your friends, go do something cool, and then come back and do your work.
As I came to Tech, I think one of the first things that struck me was first of all, just the green space, the trees. I came on campus and I was like, this is the most beautiful college campus I've ever been on. And then I look up and I'm like, and then you have just the scenic skyline in Atlanta and Midtown all around you. And then beyond that, I think what drew me to it is the fact that just Atlanta brings so much, both inside the classroom, career-wise, and then also just outside the classroom-wise as well.
I think what I absolutely love about being on campus or being in the heart of Atlanta is just the opportunity and the ability to really travel outside and do anything. For a good chunk of my time here at Tech, I was in the resident assistant, so in our dorm. So I took a lot of my residents out around campus. It was a great way to unwind on the weekend, or even like during the week, like after a hard test or something. It's a great way to just link up with friends and just have a great time.
I am a huge runner, so my favorite thing to do in the city is to explore all the different neighborhoods and pockets of Atlanta by foot. That's something that when I started off as a first year here, I didn't have a car, so I really wanted to see Atlanta, and I thought, what's the best way I can cover distance through the city without having a car? And I figured the way to do that was running. So you can do different things like Piedmont Park. You can go into all the different neighborhoods as far as houses. I love to explore all the different houses throughout the city. And then kind of just make it a thing, like go run to a farmer's market and see things like that.
One of the coolest parts about being in Atlanta is really the diversity and the diversity of the student body as well. You get to meet students from across the globe, from a lot of different countries, and they come from unique experiences as well. And when you're out there talking to meet new people, it's always really interesting being able to connect with different people and see the perspective of so many different students. And the Atlanta community is also very diverse. You have food from everywhere really, and so many unique cultures you get to experience every day.
Georgia Tech's drive to improve the human condition distinguishes us as a distinctively different kind of university, one that is developing the revolutionary technologies of the 21st century. Equipped with rich resources, from an incredible student body and faculty, to strong partnerships with business, industry, and government, to support from our alumni network, Tech is designing a future of global preeminence, leadership, and service. That's progress and service for all.
Go Jackets.
Go Jackets.
Go Jackets.
And go Jackets.
Go Jackets.
Go Jackets.
Go Jackets.
Go Jackets.